Welcome to It's All About the Hunt. I'm Nate, and today it's a Star Wars day. May the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Day, and I'm excited to rip through, this is probably 2 years worth of Black Series figures that I have not opened. They've just been collecting and sitting over here. The one thing that I struggle with is keeping up with all the different fandoms that I deal with. My shelves are almost full, but they do need some of these new characters, so I'm super stoked to rip some of these open, check out the figures, and I'm going to kind of go through them a little bit fast. I'll talk about, all the things about them, give them a quick little review. So I got 12 figures to rip through today. A couple of them, like I said, are a couple years old now, and I found them on clearance or at Ross because that's kind of how I've been hunting now. $30 for a new figure. It's kind of hard to keep up, especially, like I said before, I collect so many different things now. So lots of cool things to rip though. May the 4th be with you. It's also my birthday, so I'm going to double dip the chip and rip these figures for me and for my shelves. Some of these characters are actually some of my favorites that came out of different medias recently, all the way back actually to the 90s for like Rendar and Prince Xizor, but Straddles of the Empire video game, Dagan Gera video game, Clone Wars, the Skeleton Crew, right? So lots of different things coming on. Mandalorian, lots and lots of them, like I said. So I'm going to rip through one figure at a time. Chapters will be down below. You can skip around to see which one that you're here for if you would like to. And we're going to go from there. So I've got Clone Obi-Wan, Mae Assassin, Jod Na Nawood. One of my favorites to come out recently, the Stranger. It took me a while to find him. Just found him at Target the other day. Pirate Captain Brutus, which was one of the coolest characters to come out of the Skeleton Crew. Rendar, Prince Xizor, Dagan Gera. Now, there is a second version of Dagan Gera that I kind of wish I would have gotten instead, because he has, like, the Force arm. Kind of like Jack did for the Lego video games, if you ever seen it. He's like a clone trooper, and he's got, like, the Force arm. But I think that version's a little bit cooler than this one, even though it's weird. He has one hand, but he's got two lightsabers now. It becomes double-bladed, so it's actually pretty dope. Savage Opress, one of my favorites that came out of the Clone Wars. Jedi Master Kelnacca. Two from the Mandalorian, Shreik-Hawk Trainers, which go on my Mandalorian shelf because I have, never enough Mandalorians. Alright, we're going to start probably with those two and run through them all. Alright, pretty dope. Come with a ton of accessories. They were a deluxe set. I actually got lucky they marked them down on Walmart's website. They actually come with almost the exact same accessories. The blasters, very similar. One's a little bit different, and both of the guns look pretty much exactly the same. They got the gold stripe on both of them. We'll look at them a little closer once I get them out. Alright, so we'll start with him. He's got his helmet, and it does not come off. Just kind of basic Mandalorian bulk, Cool new paint job, though. I like the different color armor pieces. As it showed in the Mandalorian show, how they get their armor pieces. Backpack, of course. All the Mandalorians need a jetpack. Not a rocket firing one. He's got a mini little antenna, not the big one like Boba Fett has. Holster for his pistol. Pretty cool little accessory. Gonna kind of keep him like that. I love the colors, though. I mean, it's very Boba Fett, very Mandalorian, but he's got like the mix of all the different colors, and I kind of like the mix and match that they did with him. Always like the newer figures too, how they have like the trigger fingers that come out, and they can actually grab a trigger. Although this one is not really gonna stretch that far for this hand. I think I need to do it in the other hand. But rifle. Switch it up and overall, I mean, I don't have to talk about the articulation, I hope. If you guys want to hear about it, I'll talk about it, but they're mostly pretty awesome ball joints all throughout. Not a lot of loose goods, which I like. His actual waist armor is a loose good, kind of, and it moves around a little bit. So when you're posing them, it can shift. But pretty awesome. First Mandalorian. Check out the other one. So the female, it looks like her helmet will come off, and she's got a flesh-colored face underneath. Maybe not, though. Weirdly looks like it should, but I don't think it does. Not trying to pop it off right now, so I'm going to leave it alone. But again, kind of that mix and match. Same color scheme. Holster as well. A little bit different in the helmet. She's got more of the female helmet that they had for the owls. So details again, like huge fan of the Black Series. Huge fan of all the Star Wars figures, even the ones from the 90s with 5 points of articulation, right? And the 70s even. They're one of my favorite lines to collect. And Hasbro, of course, same thing I face with Marvel Legends. They repaint the same figures like over and over and over. So at the end of the day, it's like I don't collect them all anymore. At one point, I was like, I got the whole line every time. Not so much anymore, because unless they're like brand new characters or brand new bucks, you know, I don't need any more Boba Fett's. I don't need any more Obi-Wans except for the Clone Wars ones that I'm going to open today. Just because he's a little bit different than his normal ones, but pretty dope. All right, moving on to the next one. Jedi Master Kelnacca from The Acolyte. He was one that I got lucky on clearance at Target for pretty cheap. Might have been like $10 or something, I think, and he was a deluxe, so he was like 35, and there was no way I was paying 35 for this figure, but, you know, $10 at 75% off or whatever it was finally. I'll do that for these figures anytime. When I first started collecting, back in like the 90s, you know, Marvel Legends, when they first dropped, I could find them for $2.99 at like KB Toys. I worked at KB Toys as well, or like the Toy Works, which they don't exist anymore, those toy stores, but you know, I miss those days of like cheap figures. So love the soft goods cloak for Kelnacca. He doesn't have quite as awesome articulation. His joints are a little tight. I'm not going to mess with him too much. I don't want to pop something. Granted, most of the time Hasbro's not like NECA and they don't just snap off, but I'll kind of leave it alone a little bit. He's got a trigger finger. Not sure why they gave him that when he only comes with a lightsaber. But how cool was it that they made a Wookiee a Jedi? That was a pretty cool thing that they did in The Acolyte. Even though he didn't have that much screen time, but still pretty cool. And of course, need more for my good guys, my Jedi shelf. Much thicker of a bulk. You know, he's got that Wookiee feel to him. Overall, pretty cool. Figure out how I want him posed and where I want him on my shelf when I get there, but for now, pretty cool. He's huge. Huge! Alright. Dagan Gera, Jedi Survivor. Now, his story was awesome. I loved Dagan Gera. You can't beat $5.99 at Ross either, so pretty awesome find. Spoiler alert. I mean, his character was awesome, but his storyline ends pretty fast, and it's kind of sad because I liked the character a lot, and I like character development that they gave him for a little bit, and then it's like, oh, he's not the main villain in the game. Kind of ball joint knees, hard plastic cape. Kind of like the soft goods sometimes a little bit more than the hard plastic, because especially when you're trying to put them on a shelf and like jam too many figures in there, like those kind of like hinder like their posability and where they can actually stand. But he was from like the old Republic era, and Cal Kestis like wakes him up, and he's kind of evil. If you're a fan of it like I am, all those games are so dope. They're so good to play. They're fun, lots of fun. I think I got all the achievements because I play them on Xbox. The other version though, I think I kind of want the other version a little bit more with the other force arm on him. This one's pretty dope though, and like I said, $5.99 at Ross, you cannot beat it for a Star Wars Black Series when they're like 30 bucks almost. $27.99 I think in the store now, so dope. Moving on. Mae from the Acolyte as well. I wasn't going to buy her sister. You know, they're twins. They did the whole twin thing again, and I actually was a fan of the show. They had some cool parts to it. Some of the other Jedis that I would like to pick up from the series. However, again, spoiler alert, close your ears. Not all of them make it to the end, you know. I thought this design was like the coolest of the Mae characters, or her sister, you know, so I only needed one. It's got some very tiny little, they almost look like little like ninja kunai. Again, I love the soft good cloaks when they give them to them. Unless they don't really fit. And they fall off them. Wish she had somewhere to store all her little daggers though. That would make it kind of cool. So that it don't get lost. She also has her mask, so I guess you pop her head off to put that on. Which definitely needs the mask. Work on the pose a little bit as she gets put on the shelf. All right. From the Skeleton Crew, we got Jod Na Nawood. Kind of, I tried holding off and not buy him for a while because I was hoping they were going to re-release him with like his actual helmet from the show that he wore in like the first episode or whatever. But again, finding him at Ross, $8, I was like, that's fine, I'll do it. It's not 30 bucks. Got like the cool old school pirate gun. Now if they announce the other version, I'm going to be a little upset. Articulation, very similar to all the others. He's got a holster for his gun. Trench coat. You know, not that soft. Lightness, not bad. Not great, not bad. You know, he's going to wear the cloak for me anyway, so, or the hood. Double elbow would have been nice right here, but he's going to get the pistol in his hand. See, like the only thing, if it was soft goods, you know, I could kind of pose him where he's actually like kind of looks like he's drawing his pistol a little bit. It would be kind of cool. But because it's so bulky and plastic, it doesn't really get over that point. So I want his head to be a little different in his hood, but it's not really working for me. All right. Also coming from the Skeleton Crew, we've got Pirate Captain Brutus. Probably one of the cooler characters in the show. For like, you know, the bad guys. Also has the old school pirate gun. And a bunch, he's actually got a bunch of guns. A couple of them look like old-timey. He's just pretty cool looking. He's got holsters everywhere for all of his guns. Awesome. Thank you, Hasbro, for including that. That way I don't have to worry about packing away accessories, because that gets a little annoying at times, especially if they're tiny little knives like those that, you know, I don't want to lose. Alright, now, which guns go to which holster is the question. This one is so tiny. Like, it looks so weird. You can't even, barely even hold that one if you tried to. Alright, the box art shows a couple of them on his chest. Let's see, this one he's got down in here, but I'll probably put that one in his hand. He's got the trigger finger, which is nice. Another nice addition that they've been doing for newer figures. Looks like the double barrel one goes in here. And this one. And then the other. Oh, alright, maybe not this one. Okay, maybe it's a smaller one. A tiny little one goes up here, maybe. There we go. And that means that the longer, old-timey one will go in here. There we go. Alright, so if you're wondering which guns go in which holster, there it is. They're all basically on the illustration on the box, so easy to match them up. They actually did a really good job on the art, you know. Super sick figure. I like the wolf character. They did have like the wolf Jedi, and there was like an older wolf character from the like cantina or something. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Looks like their wolf-like species is a Shistavian, often called wolfman in the humanoids. So that's what Captain Brutus is. The cantina character, Xizor. That's who I was thinking about it earlier. And the Jedi was Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars, which is one of the Jedis I actually released at one point. And I have him on my shelf. He's awesome. Alright, next up, Prince Xizor from Shadows of the Empire. Cool story. Fun old school video game. Nintendo 64. If you played it, you played it. If not, it's all good. They did have the whole toy line back in the 90s as well. So he's got a little combination of some soft goods and some of the plastic goods as well. Articulation, again, awesome. Very similar to all the other Star Wars Black Series. Since he's kind of a evil prince dude. Doesn't really get a gun or anything, he just gets a staff. Likeness is pretty good. Not that Star Wars has ever let me down or Hasbro has ever let me down on the likenesses of the characters, right? I think they are some of the best figure makers out there by far. Hopefully they keep going and they don't lose all the licenses or transfer the licenses. I saw something that they're trying to, like, you know how they have the Super 7 doing G.I. Joe and things. They've been licensing out some of their properties to other companies to make figures. So I hope they still make Star Wars though for a while. Like DC, Mattel had it. There were 6-inch figures. Then McFarlane got it. He made 7-inch figures. Now it's going back to Mattel, and I think they're doing 6.5-inch figures. Like, what? Just keep it consistent, because, you know, they're all going to mix and match. No, they're not. They're going to look all weird. Some dudes are huge, some are little, I don't know. It drives me crazy when they do things like that. However, Hasbro, let's keep going. All right. Dash Rendar, also from that game. Main guy that you played as. Not a Jedi, but an awesome character design. It's got like the Han Solo style blaster. Armor kit. Looks pretty good. He's kind of washed out in the image, but Again, awesome articulation. His armor does kind of goes from going up too high. Maybe it'll pop, loosen up, but not much. He doesn't really need it anyway because he's just sitting on my shelf. He's not being posed anywhere or played with, so. Of course, you can hold your gun. And I guess it is kind of like a double jointed elbow. He misses like a swivel. I feel like they need a swivel in his hip to make him really posable. But overall, not bad. I dig it. Another awesome character to add to the shelf. Again, the ones that I buy now are basically just those figures that haven't been made before. If they've already got 20 of them, not doing it. Dope. Alright, I'm gonna keep moving. I know I did a couple of the Acolytes already, and I skipped this one because this one was one of the ones that I really dig, and I was excited to finally find him. I don't pre-order things anymore, and I just found him at Target, and I did pay the normal retail price for him because I just couldn't find him anywhere else, and I haven't seen him, and Amazon prices, you know, they aren't out of stock, and it just kept rising, so I was like, yep, just gonna buy him, just gonna pay retail for this one, and that's alright sometimes, you know, as a collector, I'm used to paying it, but like I said, if I can find them for cheap, I try to play it off and find them for cheap. His character was pretty dope in the show. His whole entire neck and everything comes off. He's going on my shelf. He's not having his normal face out. Sorry, buddy. You're cool, but your Sith mask, it looks way cooler. As long as I can get it to hook on. Alright, so that's kind of a pain in the ass to get on. There we go. I'd recommend maybe, you know, hot water trick if you need it. So he's got some hard good cape, and then he's got the soft good cape, which could probably get rid of the hard good one, the hard cape. Just give him the cape with the, you know, posability with the soft goods, but he's dope. He's got two lightsabers. He's got like the little mini one. Very reminiscent of like what a samurai would have with his one longer katana blade or the one longer blade and the one shorter blade, which is kind of an interesting choice. But yeah, probably one of my favorites out of all the ones that I've opened today. The mask reminds me of like Chainsaw Man for some reason, or like, you know, the teeth from like Ryuk from Death Note or something. I don't know, but pretty dope. He's sick. He's tough. Even though they got to come back another season, they got to explain more about this character and where they're going. And same with looking forward to like Ahsoka, the next season of Ahsoka, because what's happened with Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, you know, like what are they doing? What's going on with all those? Clone Commander Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now this one I finally found by Amazon for pretty good price. It finally went down in price, and I was like, oh, time to grab him. He's like one of those that I've loved it since like the Clone Wars cartoons came out. Like I just loved Obi-Wan as like, you know, the general in the Clone Wars, and he had like the Clone Commander armor on, and just dope. This one actually comes with a stand. Not too many figures come with stands. Love the soft good combo on this one. Probably by far one of the best ways to do it, you know, a good mix. Got him hooked in up here. Save themselves some money when all they had to do is recreate some of this up here. Not so much of his, the rest of it, right? Because they make so many Clone Trooper figures. They're like, oh, we already have this created. Just roll with it. Likeness is awesome though. Ewan McGregor style, not animated. Figure out how I want him posed on my shelf here in a few minutes. But yeah, by far one of my favorite figures that I've opened today as well. Hence why I was waiting to the end for him. And I got one more, and he's a badass as well. from the Clone Wars cartoon, Savage Opress. Now, like the normal figures, it took a while for them to finally make a black series, but like the normal ones, they had them, you know, without the armor and then with the armor for the 3 3/4 inch. Always thought the armor one was way cooler looking, and I'm stoked that that's the one they made for the black series. It's got the cool pike type weapon. Pretty heavy duty. Double-bladed lightsaber, just like Darth Maul. But yeah, oh, he's sick. He's got the shoulder articulation too, so a little bit more. Make him more menacing, you know, flare him out a little bit. Soft goods, hard goods too, combo, dig it. I like that they're doing that a little bit, you know, for all these figures, and they look really good. They feel good. He's dope. Super awesome. Everybody else got their lightsabers in their right hand, I think, right? No, I gave it to Kelnacca in the left. You're going lefty too, bud. Oh no. Blades are removable. Good to know. Again, one of my favorites out of all the ones I opened today. I did only place I could find him was GameStop, and GameStop is overpriced, but I did it anyway because he's so dope of a figure and I needed it. I needed him in my life, so heck yeah. Alright, so may the 4th be with you. Thank you guys for checking out my newest Star Wars Black Series haul. So many good figures. If you have any questions about any of them or anything at all, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. If you want to see more of my collecting journey, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click that button right down below. Thank you so much. And if you like this, let me know it. Click that like button right next to that subscribe. Thank you. It's much, much appreciated. Once again, I'm Nate. This was It's All About the Hunt. I'll catch you on the next hunt, and may the 4th be with you always. Have a great day. Thanks again for watching.